Hi guys, it's Archer with Dark City Media Group, and the first of who knows how many Justice Speaks Up vlog series. First, I have to give a lot of thanks to the overwhelming amount of support we've been receiving through emails and social media, and to all of my longtime friends and family who have been through quite a journey with me. And recent friends and mentors who have helped me figure out the best medium to tell this story, which is me literally just now throwing away my notes. We're going to do this the way it should be done, which is we're just going to have a conversation through a series of vlog posts. And my goal for this is to hopefully give all interested parties a little background about who I am, the CEO behind this social venture company, and to define our philanthropy efforts and the road that brought me to make that decision. So, first and foremost, because I am certainly not going through all of this to start everything off on a negative note, I have to thank my good friend Antonio Giallini, Dr. Antonio Giallini, with the World Film Institute, which is the home of the World Film Awards and the Olympia Awards, for sponsoring this project as our nonprofit partner. So as we get our GoFundMe up and we can expand our staff, staff, funds, that all makes life a lot easier. So with that said, just be patient as we kind of iron out the kinks and I relocate to a permanent location. I have to tell you that as of January 24th, I have chose to go underground due to what I believe is some journalist retaliation for the 16-month investigation I've been doing into family court reform and signs of child exploitation and legalized child abduction in the United States. Over the last 16 months, I have reviewed thousands of images of children, and I'm going to explain further how I came to do that area of work. But first, we're going to address what this week is all about. It is Crime Victim Awareness Week, and it also falls into Autism Awareness Month. So for this week, I'm going to talk about my experience as a young actress who is forced to do an abrupt career change due to a severe stalking case. And though this dramatic turn of my company came from literally an after-death experience, because the images and investigation into this case broke my heart, this is where the delays have been coming from. But the amount of complacency that has been taking place for the last 16 months that I have been knocking on doors and trying to get assistance with getting these children home just took its toll. And I believe part of it has to do with my background on the Victim Witness Program and my choice to go and change my name and work under a different a pen name. So for this week, we're just going to talk about my participation in that program and the work I've been doing to end child exploitation long before this investigation came about. So we're just going to have a conversation, and I just made a promise that I will not stop if I start to cry, because that's real. Anybody who could possibly look at so many images of abuse of children are monsters. And I have a long list of them. And this message is to you. It is Crime Victim Awareness Week. And I am using this week to come out as a woman in media and return to my career in order to fight for not only my own child, my own dignity, my own rights as a victim of crime, but also to seek my tribe, which is philanthropy-minded filmmakers and entrepreneurs that are interested in doing good work and seeing these children home and identifying, rescuing, and offering them aftercare. Furthermore, we're going to take the very small percentage of these children who have autism spectrum disorder, and as my form of retaliation against those who attacked me personally for my participation in career choice in the arts, and to those who would defund the arts. This campaign is my beautiful revolution of arts, and I'm going to show you how important this universal silent language is to arts-based trauma therapy and autism research. And I'm going to show you why arts is a powerful, powerful tool for expression and seeking the right forum for a peaceful protest. So to the individuals that used my participation in this case to destroy a child I love, let me be very clear. It is time that we have a conversation about why my participation in this case and all of the evidence was withheld to destroy a child. Had you acted ethically, this investigation into the destruction of children would never exist. So here's what I'm no longer tolerating. I will no longer be tolerating the re-victimization of my family, and I am seeking answers. And I am not only seeking answers for my own family, I am seeking answers for the thousands of families who are sitting, waiting for their children to be returned home. And if you have never watched a child you love deteriorate, it is a damn thing, and it should not be tolerated. There is an epidemic that is going on with the abuse of children in our nation, and it is no longer okay for there to be a media blackout. It is no longer okay for the complacency from fellow parents, from our congressmen, our senators, everybody. I'm telling you, I'm 15 years into advocating for victims of crime rights, long before I became an autism mother. And there's got to be a change. We have to start a conversation. Parents, we need to talk about co-parenting after your relationships break up, because I can tell you we are sitting here on top of evidence that these court systems are broken. As a matter of fact, they will tell you it is broken. But guess what? That is not the answer. The answer is finding solutions. So, yes, this is a project about exposing a lot of things that people could complain about. But we're taking the high road. I'm not getting down in the mud and rolling with these pigs. I'm just not. Sorry, for lack of a better term. I'm not name calling. What I mean is that I'm not getting down in the weeds. Simply, you must start replying to some of these parents. Some of these kids have been taken in violation of due process. When the well-being of a child is at stake, you cannot drag your feet for months and years for an appeal. There needs to be an expedited process, but furthermore, I'm demanding that federal and state agencies start talking about the participation of the ACP participants in family court. You do not get to fail an individual in criminal court and have them sacrifice a career, raise a child under obscene, freaking ridiculous circumstances, and then turn around 15 years later and use that to defame them. We have rights. Matter of fact, some of these decisions that are coming down in these cases are violations of federal law, including the Violence Against Women Act, including income disability, housing discrimination, disability, I'm so flustered I can't even talk. So We're going to be covering a lot of this, okay? But please know, I am very lucky that I have the support of friends to guide me through this. I'm going back to an entertainment industry that is willing to re-embrace me. But here's the thing. I'm coming out because you are not witnessing my struggle. You are witnessing my rise. And I'm doing it because everyone is getting ready to see Dark City Media Group get funded with an equity investor that has a like-minded mind for philanthropy. We are going to fund this work, and we are going to get these kids home. And we are going to explore an area of autism research that is not being dealt with. And I have all the articles that I've cited for this research will be down below in the YouTube link, and that's how I'm going to cite my sources. You can just go and link up. It's digital, it's green, you can come back to it. And that's what we're going to be doing slowly but surely over April to bring attention to this matter and hopefully have a call to action for this cause. I'm going to be slowly leaking everything. Now, here's the thing. Legal is very touchy about what I'm doing right now, okay? Because we cannot undermine any legal actions, undermine any pending appeals. So we're going to have to talk in generalizations, okay? But here's what you need to know. This is a transmedia, open source, ongoing investigation, meaning all documents were obtained through public record, through the Freedom of Information Act, and voluntarily supplied by parents. This whole project is being done under the First Amendment rights, so there's our disclaimer. Hopefully by next week we'll be able to talk a little bit more, because when we start talking about the kids, it's going to get a little bit more sensitive. What a lot of people don't know is children, family court cases with children involved, you can't usually get a hold of them. Members that are on the address confidentiality program, the cases are suppressed. You cannot access them. Cases in CPS, you cannot access them. But here's the thing, okay? The fact that cases involving CPS cannot be disclosed is the armor that is preventing these families from getting justice. So what I have done is I have created an open WordPress, meaning it's interactive. I am opening it up to anyone and all the parents that I've already talked with in these cases, and there's a lot. But this WordPress is for you. It is not for me. It is for you to replicate what you've been seeing me do on social media, which is using the arts to tell your story. This is not a rant. This is not a mother versus father. This is not political. This is not religious. This is for parents who have exhausted all their administrative remedies, who are sitting on top of hard evidence that we can evaluate and compile in order to gather statistics for what is going on in our family courts. The work is not being done. So if you go back, you will see the proper hashtags that we're using, and you'll also see it has elements of art and music and poetry, but you need to take it and make it your own. So this is kind of like us taking the beauty of art and using it to heal our pain, and for people to see that they're not alone, because one of the contributing factors to me having a broken heart syndrome attack was when I realized I was advocating for one child to be safe. And when I started having these cases come across, I realized that the child I was advocating for was part of a so much bigger problem. And because I love kids, I could not fathom that nobody cared, but I care. And I am tired of nobody listening. And I am tired of the media not being interested in talking to me. And so I feel your pain, because me as a woman who's been in media, they won't even talk to me. So here's what I'm doing. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I am taking the evidence that I have compiled in 16 months of this case, and I am going to publish everything that legal lets me. We are going to fund a documentary, and we are going to unite with the World Film Institute on reestablishing the principles of family as it pertains to our rights when we walk in a family court. We're going to set stricter guidelines on these people who are running the family court system like the Wild West. Many of these families have sought legal assistance, and nonprofit organizations are, overworked, understaffed. But here's the problem. A lot of the attorneys that do pro bono work can't even take these cases and help, because some of these cases are so riddled with so many court officer violations, color of law and due process, that they literally are saying that in order to even go in and get your kid back, you would have to undo all of the defamation of character. You'd have to undo all the violations. You'd have to go through a slew of, complaints against best interest attorneys, against judges, against all of these people. But here's the thing. Why should parents be having to pay for that kind of money? And why should our court system be bogged down with fighting for getting children back that should have never been taken? It's our constitutional right. This is a matter of people having their basic right to parent their children. What was worse is when, as journalists, we follow the money. I followed the money. Let's talk about Title IV funding and how much the government is getting for every child that is taken and put into foster care. 8 to 10,000. The amount goes up when it's special needs kids. So I know a little something about autistic children and trauma. And I know a lot about dealing with kids and crime-based trauma. I parented one through it for the last 15 years. I have been in homeless shelters. I have been in domestic violence shelters. I have been just about everywhere you could imagine, including homeless camps, parking lots with parents sleeping in their cars. So here's my message to the people who are absolutely ignoring the crisis that is occurring in our court system and with our children. That 15-year advocate that's been knocking on your door and asking you to listen, I'm no longer willing to produce any of this evidence to you in hopes that you will care and actually, do anything with it other than stick it in the corner in a pile. I'm going to do something with it. You've been asked for 15 years to do something for victims of crime rights. You've been asked for 16 months to do something about the epidemic of what's happening with children in our country. Nobody's doing anything. So guess what? As far as it comes to victims of crime rights, my confidence in you is shot. As far as advocating for children who are being beaten, neglected, abused, raped, some of them are dying, I'm not waiting around 15 years. 16 months is all I need. You're done. I'm coming off a victim witness this month, and I'm going to utilize my voice in media to be a voice for these children and these families. And I am absolutely willing to take whatever retaliation, whatever horrible public opinion you could have of me, whatever superficial, ridiculousness that could come across in social media. I don't care. So if that's you, you might as well just keep it to yourself now, because it will fall on deaf ears. I am a woman on a mission, and all that really matters is getting results and producing a solution to this. And for everyone who was shocked that I took the company in this dramatic direction, I'm hoping you will see from this vlog that this was not overnight. And to those that would question whether or not I've put time into this company, if you're considering this company for an equity investment or you're thinking about donating it, this company has been 15 years in the making. And it was originally intended to create a network for stalking survivors. Little did I know that when I would get involved with the family court, that and have a beautiful little boy, that it would turn into this, with us, I mean, exploring areas of where art and technology and arts-based trauma therapy merge. And I have some good ideas, and I know there are a few investors that I've been speaking with, and I really appreciate your interest in this, and I feel your passion. So I'm looking forward to meeting with a lot of you, and I'm ready to do this work